Anthrax, a deadly germ, a terrifying threat, and now a reality of terrorism. This week, anxiety has swept America and the world as case after case has been confirmed. Yet, so far, only one person has died and just a handful are ill. In Britain, scares, but not a single case to date. Tonight, the fact and the fiction. I'll be back with the news at 7 o'clock, but first, Anthrax, the facts, with Krishnan Gurumurthy.
Every day you have to wake up thinking, oh, am I going to get a biological disease?
An NBC employee in New York City has been tested positive for anthrax.
Over the last month, there have been more than 2,500 anthrax scares, but just a handful of confirmed cases. So in amongst all this nervousness, tonight we bring you the facts. What is it? Where does it come from? And how geared up is Britain if it arrives here? Throughout this special programme, we'll be answering the emailed questions you've been sending us all week. And afterwards, there'll be a chance to put your questions to a panel of experts online through our website. So first, what do we know about anthrax and the way it works? Julian Rush has been finding out how scared we need to be.
Meet Fazal Mahmood Dad. He knows all about anthrax. He's had it, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience.
I wouldn't want this on anybody in the world. I mean, every time I see anthrax on telly now, I get a whiplash of what I went through. I start thinking, you know, and I think how lucky I am.
Fazal is Britain's most recent anthrax victim. He caught it just over a year ago, working in a Bradford textile mill. He'd cut his arm, and then he handled infected wool. The cut became an itchy spot.
Next morning when I got up, my arm had swollen up, and that spot had changed into like a blister. And it was all black on top. Swelling on my arm, it started from here, and it just swelled right up to there. As soon as I went in hospital, they started taking pictures of my arm. And when they started taking pictures, then there were all sorts going in my mind. I mean, I had no idea. You know, only thing I thought then, I had cancer. When they told me you had anthrax, first thing I said is it curable? And they says, if you catch it in time.
We treated him with intravenous penicillin. He did very well with that.
Did it worry you that you had anthrax?
No. I mean, it's an infection which is difficult, which doesn't get passed from individual to individual.
Fazal spent 8 days in hospital on a drip. He was off work for a couple of months, but he did survive.
This industrial estate in Bradford could hardly be more mundane, more ordinary. And yet this woolen factory is where anthrax last appeared in Britain. As a worker here, Fazal Mahmood Dad was typical. Since the Industrial Revolution, anthrax has been an occupational hazard of the textile and leather industries. Indeed, Britain's seen 15 cases in the last 20 years. And yet this well-known, albeit rare disease has gripped the world in panic this last week.
This amount of anthrax could be spread, if it's spread over a city, let's say the size of Washington, it would destroy at least half the population of that city.
Certainly